What if I say that once upon a time, even Earth had rings? Shocking, isn't it? At present, there are only 4 planets in our solar system that have rings. They are the 4 gas giants: Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune. Saturn, which has by far the largest and the most spectacular ring system, was the only planet known to have rings for a long time. These rings are very easily identifiable from Earth using a very basic telescope also. Saturn's rings were first observed by Galileo Galilei in 1610, but they were not accurately described as a disk around Saturn until Christian Huygens did so in 1655. Rings were accidentally discovered around Uranus in 1977 by James L. Elliott, Edward W. Dunham, and Jessica Meng using the Kuiper Airborne Observatory while observing the planet's atmosphere. Jupiter's ring system was discovered when it was first observed by the Voyager 1 probe in 1979. Hints of the rings around Neptune were seen for decades prior to their conclusive discovery by Voyager 2 in 1989. Except Saturn, the rings around other gas giants are much smaller, darker, and fainter. But how could Earth have rings? There are a few theories about how this could have happened. First theory suggests that Earth's gravity could have broken up a comet or asteroid that got too close to the planet but didn't actually collide. Earth might have held on to a few ice particles that would have then orbited the planet and eventually crashed through the atmosphere and burnt up. Second theory suggests that a giant asteroid impact with Earth, such as the one that killed dinosaurs 65 million years ago, might have kicked up a huge ring of debris around the planet. This ring would have lasted for a few million years, eventually settling down to the Earth. Another theory suggests that when a Mars-sized planet named Theia crashed into the Earth, a gigantic amount of material was blown into the space. This went into the orbit around the Earth just beyond its Roche limit, forming a ring until it all eventually came together to form the Moon. However, Earth never had majestic ice rings like Saturn or quite visible ones like Uranus, Neptune, or Jupiter. If there was any ring of dust orbiting the planet, it would have been quite faint one. But can Earth have rings today? Theoretically, yes. Although rare and almost impossible, the asteroid or comet disintegration or an asteroid impact today can create temporary rings around Earth. Rings can also be created artificially. Humans have actually created an artificial ring in the past. The US military between the year 1961 and 1963, during the height of Cold War, launched 480 million copper needles into the orbit around Earth in a project called Project Westward. This was used for communication for a few months after launch until the needles were too far dispersed to allow for communication. In theory, if needles were continuously launched, it could be a functioning communication system. Another way through which rings can be formed today is by bringing the Moon just inside the Earth's Roche limit. The Roche limit is the distance from a celestial body within which a second celestial body held together only by its own force of gravity will disintegrate because the first body's tidal forces exceed the second body's self-gravitation. Inside the Roche limit, orbiting materials disperse and form rings. It is important to note that Earth's proximity to the Sun makes it difficult for the planet to sustain a ring system. Any ice in Earth's rings would sublime away due to radiation from the Sun. Even if Earth's rings were made of rock, they would need to be large enough to reflect the sunlight to look bright enough to be visible. Therefore, while it's theoretically possible for Earth to have rings today, it is highly unlikely. So this is all for today's episode. I hope that you have liked it. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more of such videos. See you in the next episode. Till then, take care.